A short video clip runs about 12 seconds from a neighboring farm in Green Isle that picks up the bullhorn of the arrest. I'm going to play it. It's coming off my phone into the microphone. I hope our viewers can hear it. I can, translate the audio on the back end, but let's share this. This would have been minutes ago as Vance Belter was taken into custody alive.
Guys, we have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. You are surrounded. Stand up with your hands empty and above your head and come to the sound of my voice.
Let's do that one more time for you all, but I understand it came across cleanly.
We have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. You are surrounded. Stand up with your hands empty and above your head and come to the sound of my voice.
Come to the sound of my voice. You are surrounded.
We have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. You are surrounded. Stand up with your hands empty and above your head and come to the sound of my voice.
Come to the sound of my voice one more time.
We have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. You are surrounded. Stand up with your hands empty and above your head and come to the sound of my voice.
So there you go. Just a few minutes ago, Green Isle, or Sibley County, Minnesota, I should say. I don't exactly know the township or the location there, but the bullhorn, they have an arrest warrant. It's hard to make out. It's you typically would get on your cell phone a video that's shared with you. It's grainy. Obviously I can see some authorities. It's taken from a nearby farm, but you hear their authorities in their final encounter, as we understand it, with Vance Belter near his property, Green Isle, Minnesota.
So he has been taken into custody.
Assassin doing the unthinkable, allegedly this weekend, attacking two lawmakers in their own homes, killing the Speaker Emerita and her husband, and as well as gravely injuring the Hoffmans. And so tonight in custody, alive. We thought about how this might play out, but now this heads to court. I mean, in what will be an unprecedented criminal case. Does it start in federal, state court? Obviously, so many questions still to be determined on that level. But tonight, as far as we understand it, although still waiting for an official confirmation here at the Emergency Operations Center that Vance Belter did heed the warning and the advice or the commands of law enforcement SWAT teams down in Sibley County just minutes ago, and did surrender peacefully to authorities.
So yeah, this is breaking just happening.
The use of drone coverage to track him in those fields or woods down there.
Hey, Paul, when you were playing that, I was just curious, the first word or so we couldn't make out. I didn't know if they were saying his name or could you make out that? I don't know if it's even important, but I was just curious at what
it was. I think it was we have an arrest warrant. I didn't necessarily hear the name. Let me play it. I can go one more time with the Amy.
It is incredible audio, by the way.
So.
Yeah.
Guys, we have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. Guys, we have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. You are surrounded. Stand up with your hands empty and above your head and come to the sound of my voice.
Yeah, something about the arrest warrant. There is a word.
Come to the sound of my voice is usually what like a jack-off instructor would tell you.
You're just processing this in real time on live television, but get up.
Oh, come to the sound of my voice.
What I heard from my source saying that he was on the ground in some, crawling or kind of down on the ground, that he needed to actually stand up from that position, although I don't know exactly where that recording picked up, but that could give some sort of confirmation that he was, trying to lay low or something, was down on the ground. Actually,
that's a hot emote.
Stood up to have them.
I don't think I've been turned on by an emote before.
You want them going to the ground, and that's when authorities go in. In this case, they were asking him to stand up. I would point that out, but again, not exactly sure the context of where we pick up that recording. It is just 12 seconds of what must have been a very intense moment, knowing how many. I mean,
he is like, I got more.
Plus, law enforcement were in that area surrounding the car, and SWAT teams from all across the state.
A relatively small
so there
area.
would be some serious manpower in and around. Yeah.
Paul,
yeah.
This afternoon or I should say this evening at the update that law enforcement handed out, there was a sense that they were zoning in or narrowing in on this area. Did you get that sense?
Yeah,
as well?
we're curious if you picked up on that as well.
Got arrested near Hancock.
You know, they didn't come out and say things, but it just felt like something was, we're getting close here.
Yeah, reading between the lines. Now, I could understand that assumption. Plus, I mean, you just think about, you know, you lay out the facts, and, you know, they had been in the area yesterday. They did not find that.
The arrest of an assassin, way more peaceful than an ice raid.
The area, they find the hat. They clearly kind of are.
This is America.
Putting the dots together that he was in Sibley County in some respects very recently. They, you know, push that amount of law enforcement, that offensive, you know, hundreds of officers and SWAT into that area. You know, I'm guessing they could, you know, quickly account for vehicles that, you know, was anything stolen. You know, if you account for sort of the properties and then perhaps check off, you know, that vehicles are where they should be. Now, all of a sudden, you have to start assuming he's likely on foot if he's not getting assistance. And, you know, at that point, yeah, you probably feel like he's in this area. You know, I will point out yesterday, though, they really were confident that they had him in that area around the Hortman house, that 3 square miles. And we would come to find out later that hours earlier he had gotten free.
Hortman, here's a who. They just arrested him, Meatcakes. I had just signed off.
Think, and then what you're
went to put a video on YouTube for me to, like, make dinner to. It's like, ah, God damn it.
You know, they clearly kept, I know they, even after sort of freeing up that road where the car was abandoned and opening up the roadway, towing.
I mean, probably within like the last 20 minutes.
Of course, I checked in with So Young, our colleague down there, and she had said that there was still a huge presence at the staging area. So I think they were kind of now starting to really zero in.
I'm hungry. I've been on.
And we've now seen.
I already did a show.
30 minutes or so. What that.
Meatcakes, you missed a wild caller.
His arrest, and
I'm going to put it up on YouTube.
Looks like scanning some social media.
He said he was from TPUSA.
Ramsey County.
I have my doubts.
His arrest. So,
okay.
Yeah, so there's a photo now out there
also,
that would
Paul, I don't know
evidence.
if you got word of this.
Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. So the Sheriff's Office is sharing that. So
okay.
That's an official
Absolutely.
source of information there.
Also, Paul, I don't know if you heard because you've been talking to us, but Lori just told us 10:30 news conference. So it looks like we're going to be getting some information at that time.
10:30 news conference.
Go ahead.
What are they, Central Time or are they Mountain
Time? It would
Time?
just be at this podium behind me. We were getting some indication they were.
I think it says 9:50 behind him.
Something that they wanted me to move on, to put out there yet. But if you are getting official word now, yes. So about 40 minutes away.
So yeah, news conference in 40 minutes.
Obviously, it is.
Well, I guess I'll stick around.
You know, I talked to you guys earlier today, about how this rippled out. Obviously, you have a family grieving, family recovering. But, as they take the next steps towards funerals and the like, police departments are guarding legislators right now, fearing this manifesto and this list. So to have him in custody is
well, here's what I'm thinking, Holiday. I might go throw a potato in the oven.
Many people around this state, but again, it does nothing to change.
Maximize my time. The potato will be done cooking by the time we get
it'll be interesting
past the news conference.
Here.
We're close to cooking.
To see again similar people like the DPS commissioner, the BCA superintendent, does the governor.
Thread, welcome in.
I just don't know at this point, but we will certainly be.
Good evening, my friend. I'm glad I came back on.
Our producers are working on this backstage. Obviously, a couple things we'd like to see, that Ramsey County arrest picture when we can get that. But secondly, I'm wondering if So Young Kim, who is on scene, is still available to us to discuss or at least talk about what she may have witnessed or seen or heard there on site in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. Is that available to us or not?
I'm sorry I'm sending you so many notifications today. There's only like 2 before this.
It's
the regular show, and then I was playing video games earlier.
We also have our Karen Scullen, who's out there as well with the photojournalists, and so we're going to be able to have a couple of different conversations out there from that area. It was, some sourcing that
I have driven through Chicago up into Minnesota and shit. And that is
and then as soon as So Young,
it's a hell of a haul.
Got that alert.
Hey, those toll roads up there.
We sort of decided that we were going to get
not used to toll roads
just in case. So we have the 2 crews out there. tonight. And then Paul Bloom.
Holy,
standing by.
have you seen this guy's hairpiece?
Anticipate that we're going to get confirmation of everything here. And Paul was just talking about it there, sort of at the end. And one of the many tragedies here is that we have had to spend so much time talking about this man in the wake of the deaths of people who we should be, talking so much more about them.
Now, here's the question. Am I an asshole to people on YouTube if I cut everybody off except Twitch?
And everything that he did.
And we listen to music and watch a police chase while we're waiting for the press conference?
It's unfortunate that this has over.
I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry that we can do more fun things on Twitch than we can on
I will tell you
YouTube.
anecdotally, personally, from knowing these people for as long as they've been in politics, I was up until a few hours ago in Canada, and it resonated.
Blame Canada.
As you can imagine, it would obviously a very international story like this, but it was a shock. It was just shock that this could happen not only at all, but in the state of Minnesota at this time in history, that something so horrific would happen in our backyard, and the rest of the world was feeling it as well.
And what made this just particularly, a lot of us have had interactions with these lawmakers. I realize not everybody at home has, so they were more humanized to us, of course, but public figures. But I think the piece of this that was so unnerving to just sort of the general public was the fact that the vulnerability of these couples and these families were in their home in the middle of the night, believing that there was a police officer who was trying to give them information. Nowadays, if an officer shows up at your door in the middle of the night, you fear the worst, and of course you're going to go to that door. And we have learned now.
Come join us on Twitch, Nathan.
About,
one of us. One of us.
Call 911, and verify.
You want to be able to do live music Monday with us. We watch live concerts after the show on Monday nights. We do classic wrestling on Saturdays.
Because we have been so
music request on Fridays. All kinds of fun shit we can do on Twitch.
This man was captured and could not harm anybody else.
Yeah, so just to update those viewers and listeners that may just be joining us, may have joined us online as well, which we know you do. The man you see there on your screen right now, Vance Bolter, 57 years old, arrested in the area of Green Island.
I'm excited that he's alive. We're going to get a trial.
Very near or on the property of the Bolter farm, which
in Minnesota we can have cameras unless they charge him federally.
For him at least.
And it is a politician, they might charge him federally.
What happened began there at that farm. There it is on a map, so you can kind of see where we're talking about. And if the Twin Cities were on that map, it would be up to the...
Come to think of it, they probably will charge him federally.
Fair enough. And I think it's important to say the names of the people that he's alleged to have shot. Melissa Horton.
They all are still calling him a Democrat.
Brooklyn Park home. Prior to that, Democratic Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette shot in their home. We have details that Senator Hoffman was shot 9 times, hit 9 times. His wife Yvette hit 8 times.
All right, sorry, YouTube people.
Latest information we have.
Anybody that's on Rumble, Kick, all those good things.
That is
we're gonna say goodbye to you. Twitch people, stick around.
We have our first image.
Oh, here we go.
Vance Bolter being apprehended tonight. This is from Ramsey County. An official photo here from Ramsey County showing the moments that Vance Bolter was taken into custody tonight. You can see by what he's wearing how sort of dirty he is, that he had been
dirty man
in that field, and we know from the audio that he was told to get up, and you can see that he'd been hiding for some time. As far as what he's wearing, and we'd have to compare that with the many different sort of
we watched him dancing for Jesus earlier.
The incidents happened, the murders and the attempted murders happened on Saturday morning, but this is what he was wearing, and that is what he looks like as he was apprehended just a short time ago.
And for a timing reference for our viewers out there and listeners, that this really was just moments ago. We have fortunately had a very good sourcing operation tonight, both in Green Isle, both in the city, and boy, networking that really worked out to cover this story for all of you at home. The first information we had that something was going to go down, or it appeared that something was going to go down, was about 8:45. So it was happening fast.
9:45 our time.
Spot on. We had a trail cam image of him in that area, which initiated a search from the air via drone.
That's how fast this is all happening.
Descended in that area. They'd been in the area, but they went in full force, and they pinpointed him in a cornfield.
So probably apprehended within the last
audio just
45 minutes.
You could hear very clearly he was in that dirt. He was laying down. He was asked to stand up and go toward their voices. There was a warrant out for his arrest, and he did exactly that. He was arrested without
just hiding in a field
in that Green Isle area, right there on the Bolter property, or very near the Bolter property, which has sort of been the focus of this investigation, probably from a
So he really didn't have a plan.
Initiated this thing from an evidence perspective. They needed to go through that property.
He was just scared and hiding on his own property, or near his property.
To law enforcement and to those of us that are covering this story.
Wow.
Okay, let's. Okay, it sounds like our Paul Bloom has some new information for us. So, Paul, what have you got?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to, read this. So forgive me for, taking eye contact away from you. I just have the state murder charges against Vance Belter, charges of murder in the second degree with intent not premeditated, a second count of that charge, and then a couple of counts of obviously the attempted murders. But I just want to read a quick paragraph. Again, I have to process this in real time here. This is one of the paragraphs. So this is after the shooting at Melissa Hortman's house, Mark and Melissa Hortman. Quote, officers searched defendant's vehicle, registered to him. Again, that's that faux police car, the security car with the flashing lights, abandoned in the driveway because he encountered authorities and had to run out the back door. So again, officers searched defendant's vehicle, registered to him, and located at least 3 AK-47 assault rifles, a 9mm handgun, as well as a list of names and addresses of other public officials. Officers canvassed the surrounding area and located a ballistic vest, a disassembled 9mm firearm, a mask. We know he was in that mask in one of the photographs at the door, dressed like police, and a gold police-style badge. So that was all found near the scene. Defendant is the listed purchaser for at least 4 of the recovered firearms, so he connects to the guns themselves. Additionally, investigators spoke with a person familiar with defendant who positively identified him as the man on the Champlin residence surveillance footage. So perhaps that puts that one image of him in the mask at the home of Senator Hoffman. We weren't sure if that picture had come from a Ring camera, which house, but would seem to be from these charges that it came from the Champlin home. Okay. Because defendant has not been apprehended, and this case has significant media attention. Of course, this was before what just happened tonight. Your complaint requests this warrant be sealed. So these charges were previously filed. But again, the weaponry, guys, we have to talk about that encounter, the cops checking the Hortman house. Tragically, they couldn't prevent what happened in that home in Brooklyn Park early Saturday morning. But what happens if he gets back in that car? They had that gun exchange with him on the curb. They had clearly he has lists, he has names, he has addresses. And if he gets out of that neighborhood in that car, who knows what happens? Instead, he's on foot. It would take them, 36 hours to bring him into custody alive. But so he has been taken into custody alive. That photo, you can't see that enough. Right there, taken into custody, Sibley County there, alive. We played the audio, ordered to stand up, surrendered peacefully. But those officers, I'll play that audio one more time as our viewers kind of tune into this breaking news. Again, I have the murder charges that are now been unsealed. But again, I lost my train of thought. Let me just go to that audio again I was asked to play. It's going to take a second.
Paul, it's okay. We have the complaint in front of us, too.
Take a look around. You are surrounded. Stand up with your hands empty and above your head and come to the sound of my voice.
It's 12 seconds. I'll do it again. It starts with them letting him know there's an arrest warrant. Put up your hands. Walk towards his voice. Here it goes again.
We have an arrest warrant. Take a look around. You
Yeah, press conference in about 30 minutes.
Audio nearby of this.
Nathan, welcome in. And if you're on Twitch, if you happen to have an Amazon Prime account, you can give me your Bezos bucks. You get one free Twitch Prime subscription.
Media comment. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office was the initial.
So
I saw that photo.
If you have Prime, totally give me your Bezos bucks.
The greatest internet signal. It might take a minute. So, but again, just to reiterate,
he just wanted to dance. All right, YouTube peeps, Kick.
That he did have multiple
Rumble.
in that.
We're gonna say goodbye to you guys. We're gonna watch a police chase.
Was closely searched yesterday. That's where they found this so-called, manifesto.
We're going to take the press conference at the bottom of the hour